Hello, this is Ian with Basement Technology, and in today's tutorial, I'll be covering how to make a professional navigation bar for your website. So first off, you want to know how wide you want your navigation bar to be. So for some people who don't have like a div tag for their wrapper, they might want to choose this now later, but for those who have a wrapper or they want it inside of a div tag or a predefined size, you want to go and see how wide your wrapper is. In my case, it's 1200 pixels. So that's the size we're going to be using for the Photoshop file. Then you're also going to want to find out how many sections, how many links you want in the navigation bar. I created some earlier: home, about, downloads, and videos, and contact us. So now inside Photoshop, you're going to go to File, New, and this part is where you enter the width that you defined just now, and the height I recommend 50. That's whatever you want, but anything less than 50 is pretty thin. So hit OK. And as you can see, we have our white background. You're going to go ahead and select the back, or hit New Layer, and then select the background and delete it, just so we have a blank, absolutely blank space. And then here's where you get to do whatever you want. You can make the background of the gradient. Probably should be the same throughout, horizontally the same. But what I'm going to do is a gradient here. I'm just going to hold shift, drag down. You can do whatever you want. You can do regular blank color. You could do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And then what you're going to do is use the text tool, wait for it to load, and then you're going to use whatever text you want. I'm going to use terminal. Whatever you text you want for each button. Alright, so you're going to write in your buttons. First one I have home. Actually, wait a second. My bad. Text is way too big. Home, and I know that font looks awful, but whatever. Home, and that doesn't really matter where you'll put it now. We're gonna readjust it later, and then I'm gonna duplicate the layer just because it's easy. I'll come back when I am done making all my buttons. So as you can see here, I have my 5 categories, and they are not spaced. They are not spaced properly, not in the right positions. That's okay. We'll do that later. I'll show you how. But in order to do that, you're going to need to have them all see this selection, which I never really care about unless I'm doing what we're going to do in a sec. It needs to be almost the exact size, as small as you can make it without cutting off the text. Just the exact size of the text. As you can see, I'm doing it here. And this is so when we align the text in the right place, it does it to the center of this entire box, not just to the text. So we want to make the box, the same size as the text, which stands to reason. So almost done. There we go. So as you can see, we have our 5 words. And next, what we're going to want to do is hit the select button. Okay, so in the selection menu, you're going to go over to Style and change it from normal to fixed size. And then in the width section, you're going to write the width of your canvas divided by how many links you have, how many sections. See, I here have 5, and my width is 1200, and 1200 divided by 5 is 240. So I've entered that already from a past picture. And you're gonna go over to the very beginning of the canvas, your first link, and just click. It'll select for you. And it will select the size that each rollover is going to be. And then you're going to hit Alt backspace. Oops. Whoops. You're going to go new layer and then hit Alt backspace. And it should create white, and make sure it's in that new layer. And then you're going to go to opacity and change that to whatever you want. I like around 30. That looks good. And as you can see, even though we're not nearly done, we have our nice rollover. Next thing you want to do is you want to duplicate the layer and just drag that over. I'll show you a much easier way to do that. And drag that until the white part is not overlapping. Just even it out. And to duplicate it faster, hit Alt Shift and drag it, and it immediately makes a duplicate that you can then drag. Just do that pretty fast. Do it again. And there you have it. Now you have, and then if you pretend you had this as your videos, as your home page, your navigation bar, you roll over some. I mean, it looks pretty bad with the videos and stuff not aligned, but that's what I'll show you how to do now. So you are going to align each one. You are going to select which one you want to align. First, we're going to do home, and make sure you are on the normal move tool. And you're going to select the first text, and then you're going to hit Control, and then select the white part that goes with that that button. So we're going to select that. We're going to press that little image there to make it select that, but still have it selected on the home. And then you're going to go up here and press this little align horizontal centers, and then you're going to do the same thing for vertical centers. And as you can see, it aligns it perfectly, vertically and horizontally. And this is where that making sure that the box of the text is perfectly sized to the text comes in. So now we're going to do this layer over here, the about. Okay, and now they are all perfectly centered. Now we need to slice up our pictures. So you're going to go ahead and make sure that none of these pictures are, none of the cover layers are visible, because we are going to slice them up. Actually, you can make the first one visible. And then you're going to go over to the it might be cropped by default, but just hold it down, whatever's here, hold it down, and then hit the slice tool. And then you can, I'm going to zoom in, go over to the home, and you're just going to want to cut out each button. It's very important that you make it precise, or else it will not work. Cut out each button. Oh, whoops. My bad. While you're going through, you need to make each layer show. It's not vital, but it makes so you can see where they start and end. And so we have sliced up our picture. make it 100% again. Okay, so now you can see we have our each individual button. Now, if you want to save it, go ahead and do that. You probably should have been doing that during this entire tutorial. But now we're going to go to File, Save for Web. And it doesn't matter whether, right now, actually it doesn't matter whether these are, which one, if they are visible or not, as long as they are all visible or all invisible. Like, right now, they're all visible. The rollover part. And then you're going to go through and make sure that they are all PNG 8. Actually, no. Yes, JPEG. We'll make it JPEG. And then for your internet, why don't you make it, I like to use very high because it still keeps its quality. When I go to high, it's pretty low. But you don't want your page to load that slowly, so you want to make it a good size. So then you want to go through and make sure that they are all that, because sometimes they're not all the same. So just go through changing them. Okay, so now they are all JPEG at very high quality. And then you're going to hit save. And in your tutorials section, in the images, you can make a folder called nav bar. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And you're going to call this one roll over, and then you're going to hit save, and it will automatically save each individual sliced up button as its own picture, as I'll show you. Inside navbar, images, look, and now we're going to go back and we're going to make all of the rollover invisible. Or you can make them visible if you did the opposite. And then go to Save for Web again. And they should all be still on JPEG very high. And hit Save. And then we'll make them roll default. And then hit Save. And as you can see, we have all the buttons with both version. The default and the rollover. So now we're in Dreamweaver, and I have my main template open, or whichever page you want to apply the navigation bar to, and we're gonna go into the place where we want to put the navigation bar. Here I have my 1200 pixel wide wrapper, and I'm gonna delete the navigation bar I have from before. And then you're gonna go to you're probably in common in the toolbar, and then in the images section, press the little down button, and then press rollover image under the images. And then image name, you're gonna enter the I'm gonna call it nav bar home, because that's the first one I'm gonna do. And as original image, site root, well, I'm already there, and navbar images, and then the default image, not the rollover one, and make sure it's the home one, or whichever first one you have. And then for the rollover image, you want to scroll down and find the rollover one. Alternate text, one click, doesn't matter, you can change that later. You can change this later too if you wanted to edit yours. And so I'm going to show you what this, I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like. And then I'll show you the finished. As you can see, this is what it looks like. So our hard work is looking pretty good, as you can see. And once I'm done, it'll fill this all up. I'll speed through this part so you don't have to watch me doing each one. as you guys can see, as I'm doing my final button, it is starting to come together. It forms a perfect line. It is all connected. And as you can see, if we save it and then we're going to run it, it looks pretty snazzy. See? Like a professional navigation bar. And you can apply links to those just by clicking on them and then putting something in the link. And you can change them by opening your old file and doing the same thing. It won't take you that long. Generally, this takes about 10 minutes. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the tutorial, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.